Street. Graham?
Yeah, now, as I understand it, there's going to be another demonstration and the stoppage of vehicles on the 9th of May to inspect the hygiene and the conditions of what they brought in. All I'm saying here is, could we write to them and ask them if they could? Well, yeah, whoever they are at the Cranswick or whatever they call themselves, like, if they would consider, like, not bringing those trucks through the high street. If they say no, but the council will be seen as to be trying to do something to support,
okay,
as opposed to not doing anything at all.
Graham, I think there's two issues there.
Listen to this.
The Cranswick's lorries, which are marked Cranswick's, don't come down the high street, it's my understanding. They come in from the Brandon end and go out the Brandon.
Your understanding is wrong, because I see them sometimes. Not very often. Yeah, we do see the normal other farmers, but how else do these people think that these farmers that from the opposite side of town are going to get there? You say you want to save the world and all that, like pollution and that, and here you are telling trucks to go on a detour, through villages where it's going to get stuck in that. These people ain't got a clue. But listen to this.
The lorries that bring the pigs in, I think, come from the farms and they're privately owned.
Yeah.
So they're nothing to do with Cranswick's. My understanding is that if they get their way and they build this super piggery out near Methwold, Jane will love it, lovely smell, they will come in from the Brandon Road end. But you couldn't guarantee that. So there's the issue there. Cranswick's official lorries don't come in through the high street. I've never seen.
Does he not know what a piggery is? It's where they breed the piglets, mate. See, he ain't got a clue. He thinks that that's where the pigs are all going to come from. Like, what, mate? None of them have got a clue. Have they?
They might, I don't know. But all the vehicles bringing in livestock are owned by the farms, or they hire a company in. Keith.
Thank you, Chairman. I have some personal recollection of what's happened before, because we was down talking to Cranswick with a flood action group, and there was these people over by the Weybridge, sort of doing some sort of, not demonstration centre. And I said to the guy from Cranswick, well, what's all this about? He said, they're the animal rights people. We let them sit over there and they have a look at the pigs while they're on the Weybridge, and we're all quite happy with it. There's no problem. It's been going on for ages. This is nothing new. It's nothing to do with the demonstration that they had and when they got into Cranswick. And I did actually watch the live stream of that because somebody alerted me to it. So this is nothing to do with what happened then. It's something which happens, as I understand, quite regularly. That these people come along, they look at the pigs in the lorries as they're on the Weybridge, and they all go on. And Cranswick are quite happy for them to do it. So it's not going to cause any great problem, because it never has before, as I see it.
Okay.
All I was saying is, if we ask them, Cranswick, to say to the people that bring the livestock in, could you find an alternative route?
What?
And maybe,
He's an idiot,
if they say no, that's fine. There's nothing we can do about it. But at the end of the day, when they're coming down the high street in the middle of the summer, you've got all the kids, and it's not the best thing in the world. So, at the end of the day, if we can be seen to be doing something.
Oh, way.
Right. Okay, Kat.
Dudley Bowers would turn in his grave.
He would do.
Literally, the town is built round an abattoir. The abattoir used to be at the back of the Crown pub, right? It's part of, I hate to say it, our heritage. We have been fed by this place for years, right? If you stop the lorries coming through Wharton, right, with livestock on, then stop all the lorries coming through Wharton that are damaging the buildings and make it a 7.5 ton limit.
Okay, Toby.
It's damaging the buildings. Well, maybe you see the thing. Your buildings are old. Yes, you need to fix them, repair them. Yeah, obviously, they're old buildings.
I think it's interesting to say. I go to different towns around the country. Different lorries with livestock travel around towns all the time. There's nothing new. As long as people keep eating meat, or the demand. As long as there's the demand there, and I think we need to be quite careful. Cranswick is a privately owned company, and we need to be quite careful. If they need to be able to make decisions in terms of what would please the community they're working in, and it's not for us as councils to make recommendations to them in terms of what we feel is right. That is not us problem. Now, if the people of Watson have, I don't think the concern is around the pigs traveling through the town. I don't think so. I think is around the actual how they treat the animals in general. So I don't think it makes a difference.
What's it? Is he one of these
why should we be getting involved? Because these are things that's happened.
He seems to have his mind made up, doesn't he? He does, doesn't he? Right. See, people like these are the people that make decisions on our behalf.
For years, and again, it's not for us to dictate or make recommendations to companies. That's just my personal opinion. And like you said, all around towns, animals are passed through towns all the time. There's nothing new.
Okay, Thomas.
There is one way to fix this. It's to set a precedent by closing the high street once a week for no apparent reason.
Sorry, Tim.
If we were to close the high street once a week for no apparent reason, it might set a precedent for lorries not to come through.
Okay, I don't know how we'd do it, but I think we'd have to apply for a license.
What sort of tool? What sort of video idea is that? This is the fool that wants to go and see old George Freeman or whatever his name is, the fucking tall bag chubby boy, our elected MP. Tall bag. But listen to it.
Clark, do you want to say something?
If we do ask them not to come through the high street, they're going to take an alternative route, possibly through the neighbouring villages, and I don't think we'd be very popular then.
The only one with common sense is here. That's the first good comment. Look, yeah, common sense. Look, they're going to go through the villages, and a lot of lorries can't get round certain parts of villages, and it's all like common knowledge.
I think the other thing not for me to say, but the farmers hire the haulage transport in, and if they have to go a longer way round, they'll put their haulage costs up.
Yeah.
And so everything goes up in price. But anyway, Stan.
Thank you, Chair. Another consideration, we as council, we're not political. Certain things are contentious. We take money from Cranswick. They donate to us for things like the fireworks. We're either in the tent peeing out or outside the tent peeing in, but we can't make both journeys. We're either working with them or we're working against them. Like it or like it not, they provide over 1,000 jobs, and put nationalities aside, there's still residents of Watton that work there. And whilst I can see the spirit of the intention here,
it's just his dumb ideas
than just simply asking them to...
He's probably in one of these cults. Do you know what? He was in one of these meetings once, the old young boy, going on about the police, that he hadn't seen any police down Church Walk, or anything. Like, what? When he's walked down there, it's like, what do you expect them to be up and down there 10 times a day? Honestly. And the thing is, the way that they go on about it, there was people up there all the time, which there wasn't really, but there was people there. But the thing is, if they didn't do anything and they just let them carry on, if they still still not put a bin there, have they? Still no bin there, but they'll moan about the mess. It's just what, and it just makes me mad. They just can't do basic things. They'll make me laugh, they do. Listen to him though, oh young boy.
Stop the lorries coming through
Stopping
the town.
Lorries in town.
As I think Kat mentioned, if you're going to stop livestock lorries, you're going to have to stop all lorries. Thomas said about a precedent for no apparent reason shutting the high street. Even if that were possible, the bus companies would love you. The residents of Merton Road and Harvey Street would absolutely adore you.
Well,
and it would cause more chaos than it would cause solution. If we're doing this to appease those that oppose the meat trade, why are we offending those who support the meat trade? If you've got 1,000 people in Watton who oppose the meat trade, it's likely that you've got 10,000 that don't. And we have to play a very, very careful game here as the council, or we step back. And if we're going to take a stance, it's got to have a lot deeper discussion than 10 minutes in council. Thank you, Chair.
Good.
Tina.
That told him. I bet he looked that small now, doesn't he? I see him yesterday when they were leaving the meeting on Tuesday. Look at that bloody click, 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 bloody click, click, click.
It's a shame that almost just have that space. Whatever you want to take over time, actually, what happened, then we will need to demand and see what's available, the option of going from there, but it's without the alcohol, going to the back of the high school into the actual estate.
We're talking about Christmas lights before we go to its walk. She fucking what?
Okay, thank you. Sue?
Yeah, speaking as somebody who opposes the meat trade, from the point of view of the animal welfare, if you're going to start trying to put them through country roads, you're just prolonging that journey that they've got. At least coming through the high street, and they're coming from Cherry Tree Farm down at Stowe Eden, and from the airfield, they've got main, fairly straight roads. So if you're thinking about
another one
the smell, well, don't live here.
Simple.
Okay.
So, that's
all right, that's fine. Look, Graham, do you want to make a proposal?
I brought this up just as, could we ask if they could...
Shut
so
up.
So your proposal is...
Yeah, but at the end of the day, this has opened up a whole can of worms and everyone's got something to say about it. I didn't think it was going to, sort of blow up in my face like this,
Yeah, well, best you keep your mouth shut, matey. I don't know how long he's been around this town, mate, but this is the geezer, yeah. That, I was sat on the bench having a can of beer, and there was the bench next to me with all these bottles on there, and he's looking at me, and he's like looking at me, and he goes, "You going to put them in the bin?" I'm like, "No, not mine, mate." And then I said, "Well, they're the foreigners," and he got all huppity at me. I said, "What?" I said, "Oh, don't like the truth, do you?" And he went, I said, "Why don't they put more bins?" I said, "Why is there no bins here?" I said, "The town council should put more bins." He went scuttering away, didn't he? Because I knew who he is. He's a tool, mate. That's what he is. He's a tool.
All I wanted to know, or seemed to be doing something, as opposed to not doing anything.
Oh,
if that letter falls on deaf ears, at least we could say as a council we tried to do something.
Graham, I'm going to take it you're proposing that we write to Cranswick and ask them that the lorries don't come down the high street. That's what you said. Is there a seconder for that? No? Well, that's it. End of that motion then. Fine. Thank you for bringing it up anyway.
Brilliant.
Interesting discussion.
Common sense.
Item 13, planning. Keith, are you doing this? Off you go.
Well, yeah, then. So, yeah. Anyway, that's that. But, yeah, did you hear young boy saying about his idea was to shut the high street for one day a week for no reason? What an absolute idiot. He's a fool, he is. Absolute fool.